Wow, I'm your friend Dr. Charles Apoki, and I've been talking about breakthrough. Breakthrough is you have been struggling, you have been trying, and then suddenly there is an explosion that opens doors for you. If you pan this way, we are harvesting potatoes from here, and we have harvested large quantities of potato from here. This is not our first time of planting. We had planted before. We didn't get that kind of harvest. And the teas of tea as in tomatoes of having a breakthrough. I started with training. One old woman taught us how to plant these potatoes. And she gave the man video recording now the way to plant it. And we planted and we're having a big harvest. So training. If you turn this way, you will see my cassava plants. I'm going to harvest a lot of cassava from here. Somebody taught me how to plant cassava, and we are going to get a great harvest. Now, training is not necessarily somebody telling you, but there are circumstances that God can take you through. He said, I took you through the wilderness to teach you to know that man does not live by bread alone, to humble you and to prove you. Sometimes the greater the height you want to reach, the more difficult the training. You have the U.S. Army, hard training. You have the U.S. Marine, harder training. Then you have the U.S. Navy SEALs, the best of the best of the best, the hardest training. You see, sometimes God uses very hard people to achieve great results in ministry. Somebody like Paul, who trained under Gamaliel and also was a very hard man. Sometimes God allows you to pass through hardship to give you the toughest trainings, the most difficult trainings in life. But the problem we have in Pentecostalism today is that we pray away some of these hardships and the blessings inside. The blessing of a hardship or difficulties or challenge is the lessons you learned. I don't take analgesic because I worked hard from childhood. I had to break firewood to pay school to enhance my school fees that my father would give to me to be able to buy some clothes, buy some provision. So I don't take I work hard here. I operated potatoes, went back home, I offloaded them, washed some of them. So hardship trains you. Then the next T is trials. God will allow you pass through trials. I've lost all my brothers, lost my parents, and it taught me independence. Trials, when I passed through hardship, my daughter had bilateral general valgus, my son had cleft lip and palate, my engine knocked engine, landlord said I should park, my brothers abandoned me for 5 years. One of the days I was coming from the hospital in Enugu and I was crying. And I said, God, why me? He said, why not you? Somebody has to pass through it to be able to encourage others. So I'm not a motivational speaker because I quote Miles Monroe, Mike Murdoch, Zig Ziglar, or whoever. It is because I have passed through hardship, difficulties, trials, and tribulations, another T, and temptations. You don't understand temptations. I tell people that I don't do adultery because I was a rough guy, very hard guy, before I became a Christian. And after being a Christian as a medical doctor, I've undergone temptations. I get tempted. Women tempt me. Forget my age. Now, there was one day I was traveling with one young lady, my student, my nurse then. Her skirt moved up. And I saw lap. The devil spoke to me. Look again. I looked. The devil told me, just branch one hotel.